But it is a big thank you. This happened in Maine, and Scott sent this to me. I thought this was pretty cool. Where in Rumford, I guess, Maine, the state of Maine, which of course is a fiction, it's just a pseudonym. These are just words on a piece of paper. There is no actual physical state of Maine. It's just a DBA for men and women who, like shown here, men and women who have to force others to pay them. So what we've got here, and again, thank you to Scott and everybody else who sent me these, because we're going to go through a few of these. Pursuant to, this is a dismissal. Oh, I should have highlighted that, but it's heavy, anyway. Pursuant to rule, you can't expect too much of the photoshopping from me at this particular point. The fact that on this file, you can see I actually had to use layers to be able to do this, and so I'm figuring out as I go. But pursuant to Rule 48A of the Maine Rules of Criminal Procedure, the District Attorney for Prosecutorial District 3 hereby dismisses the complaint because the witness was unavailable. The prosecutor was pretty adamant that if Scott took this to trial, he would lose. He would, he just figured this was a hanging judge who was just going to deny everything. And the prosecutor, for what it's worth, didn't have a shred of evidence to actually prove that there was any jurisdiction. And so even though he was pretty certain he was going to win this, and bring Scott to the slaughter, he withdrew on the lame excuse that, his witness is unavailable. Yeah, that's right. You have a slam dunk. And so you do nothing to have your prize witness there, your star witness. So anyway, this is his signature. I can't even begin to make that out. Looks like a John, possibly a J. I don't know. But anyway, it's signed by the district attorney who brought this bogus complaint, which is great. So big congratulations to Scott for standing up to these corporate psychopaths and not just giving in and crying and going into the fetal position, as you will. Oh my gosh, whatever I got to do to avoid jail, leave me alone. Not an easy thing to go after, to stand up for yourself with these people, especially when you got a prosecutor who's doing a pretty good job of bluffing that you're going to get slaughtered in court because, hey, he works with the judge. You and I don't. So let's move on to our next one. Kind of whole East Coast thing going on with these tickets getting thrown out, which is kind of rare. Usually they just tell you to go F yourself and bring it up on appeal, jackass. This is from Mineola. This is the Mineola Justice Court, my old stomping grounds there. I used to live on Long Island. And Camille sent this to us. Dismissed. This is, again, traffic. And I know for the critics out there, I'm not implying here that this is a real court, that the Mineola Justice, it's not any more real than any of the other courts. It's just a group of men and women providing a service at the barrel of a gun. Pay us or we will shoot you. So, no, it's not, has no legitimacy whatsoever. But he filed a motion to dismiss, as did Scott in Maine, and it was dismissed. So a big attaboy for Camille standing up to the corporate psychopaths in Mineola, Long Island. Again, if they had evidence proving the Constitution and laws applied to you and I, just because we were physically in Mineola, hey, they would provide it. In fact, they would probably make it a permanent part of their tickets, so the cop wouldn't have to be under any kind of undue burden of having to actually prove that every single time. So, hey, congratulations, of course, to Camille for sending us that. I appreciate that. Again, that was the Mineola Justice Court. And last, I know this is not very easy to read. In fact, I didn't, and I know this is a pretty cool Photoshop job. I did not do that. So, you got to excuse that. But, I'm going to have to plead ignorance here. He wiped out too much of the name, which really sucks. So I don't know. I don't know, but it was just a traffic ticket in New Jersey, and they stood up to them, and there you see, dismissed. And they had It's signed by the judge, which, of course, we can't make that out. Not that that's really important, but a big congratulations to them for standing up to them, especially in New Jersey. Oy vey. That's one of the worst. They're all bad. They're all psychopaths, but Jersey is one of the, if you've got to rate them, Jersey is one of the worst ones. So big congratulations to them and everybody who did take the time to send me the documentation. I really appreciate that. We'll have that here under the success stories. And if you're, if you don't think that this proves anything, okay, great. It may not. It may not. We don't know what goes on behind the scenes, but we do have a nice pattern going on. An awful lot of these tickets do get thrown out, which is nice. But if somebody wants to say, well, it's just traffic, it doesn't mean anything, well, that's fine with me. I don't really care. But as long as people keep getting them tossed out, that's all that is important. Now, again, if they had evidence, or if you have evidence, if you think you have evidence proving the constitutional laws apply to me or anyone else because we're physically in Arizona or Maine or Hamilton, British Columbia somewhere, we are live here at the No State Project every Saturday from 4 to 7 Eastern Standard Time on the Liberty Radio Network. I'd be more than happy to hash out and listen to whatever facts you believe you have to prove that written instruments that nobody ever bothered to sign actually apply to people who just happen to be in a certain physical location. Again, my name is Marc Stevens. Website, of course, markstevens.net.